Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Wolf, and this is Final Fantasy XIV Fridays. We're back, and we're ready to start patch 5.4. That is a post-Shadowbringers patch. We're still in Shadowbringers, technically. But I read online somewhere that a lot of people would argue that 5.4 and 5.5, part 1 and 2, aren't really part of Shadowbringers anymore. It's more of like a precursor to Endwalker. I think with the way that the last patch ended, yeah, all right. I think I'd have to agree. Just simply because of the fact that, well, we're not in the source anymore. Or not in the first, sorry. First is the past with Grahatia. The source is where we're from. It's like that for all the patches. I mean, so everything post Shadowbringers was just a beginning to Endwalker? Because I thought that was the point. Like, they were kind of finishing off Shadowbringers, and then, you know, point 3 is usually the end of the last expansion, and 4 and 5 are the prelude to... Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. So never mind. So I was right. So that's, I mean, that's what people were saying, and you're confirming that, so there you go. So, we're going to get into that tonight. We obviously won't be able to finish it. Let me pull up the... I keep forgetting to do this. Main scenario quests. Here we go. Futures Rewritten. That's what we're getting into here. You know, I think I tried that already and it didn't really work. All right, let's just log in. Let's get in the queue that's 15 people long and short. This is good. This is good. We're making progress. I'm gonna have to move the camera down a little bit. It's a little weird. I look short. Not sure why it's so quiet. I mean, I did turn down the music in the game, I believe, like a while ago. Yeah, I'm gonna have to resize all this too, and that's the worst part. Because now we're back on a 1080p screen, so I had to change the... Well, we have to resize this. And then, you know, it never seems to want to, oh, for God's sake. It never seems to want to, like, recognize that I've double-clicked on that. Good Lord, why did that take so long? All right, now I need to resize the text. So... do give me just a few moments, please. Was it 12, I think, the last time? Nope, that was... Well, okay, that's fine. That was the thing. Yeah, there you go. But obviously, with the drop to 1080p, now we're looking at, you know, probably a lot more solid frame rates, like 60 FPS, maybe. We'll see. I will say a lot happens in these next two patches in terms of solving problems that have been a thing plot-wise since the beginning. Like, count the number of, oh, we solved this long-standing issue in the world moments. Well, I'll see if I can. Alright, let's check the audio, because I genuinely... Yeah, the BGM... Okay, the master volume's down 50%. Do we always have it like that? Seems a bit low. I don't think we've had it like that before. Let's go to 75, because I don't know whether that sounds good or not. We'll see. Right, let's get it started. Oh, greetings, Valtamont. Come to look in on our friends. Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them, and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health. That rhymed. As a matter of fact, they're just about to convene in Dawn's Respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we? Yes, we shall.
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies, it is time we resumed our duties in earnest. Let us speak of our plans.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I've a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Welcome back, everyone!
Lise!
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
The famous Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
I don't believe we've met.
Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Grahatir, at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the First. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Oh, right. I did glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it. Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition. And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
A difficult truth to bear, yes. But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared. though his is a power born of the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak, and it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? Alright, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire. So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne. The trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble. The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald, and we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Oh, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the Tempered.
Of course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you used to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alizé, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting.
What meeting? Lead on.
I knew you'd say yes.
I'll come too. If you don't mind, that is.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
No. That's not... I mean, I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
We shall be on our way then. Godspeed.
Obviously, I'm not going to say no to Alizé. I think the last time somebody did that, she put a boot in their head. A boot to the head. Of course, the Empire is still squirming, as they were. Doesn't surprise me. So now we've got a new guy vying for the throne. It never ends with them. It really never ends. I knew it was going to be unvoiced. When I set out to save Halric, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind, and having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I am convinced that the same must be true of the tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the aether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant. And though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Alizé, and it warrants full investigation. By the way, Huffman, what is Grahatia? What's his class? If there's even a chance we can save Gabu, we have to try. But however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness. Not when a child's life is at stake. As I'm sure Becklug would remind us, we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. His class, like, what's his job? Technically. And so before attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about tempering. There's just one problem. Research into the condition has long since ground to a halt, and the combined work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. Not of the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of their ancient counterparts? I know the Alligans took a more than passing interest in the subject. He fills roles in the trust modes. Oh, okay. And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the Aetherochemical Research Facility, where they experimented on primals and their worshippers. Yes, good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read the reports on Azisla, which means we'll need an airship. We'll be needing an airship. An airship, you say? Meet me at the northern bank of Silvertear Lake. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. I'm always prepared. I have my book. I mean, my tome. All right. So, bowling tonight was so much better. I'm so much happier with my performance. I did 180, 212, 200. Last game was a little bit of a fluff. I missed 2 frames, but still, I'm surprised I even hit 200 even. I left my 12-pounders at home, brought my 15, my single 15, and I was like, you know what, screw it. For whatever reason, I lost my ability to use the 12-pounders. Something just wasn't working right, and so I said, you know what, I'll go with the 15. And I'm still going to practice two-handed in my own time. I want to see if maybe I could go with that. But, I don't know. One-handed is looking good. Meech actually did really well tonight. He did, was it 157, 144, and then 227? Like, he kind of pulled it out of his ass on the third game, which is nuts. But it was very well done. He was really just consistent, and that's what really mattered. Yes, it is nice to be over the bad streak, but I think the fact that it's a 15-pound ball definitely helped a lot to facilitate just pushing through the pins. I'm just so happy to be done with my bad streak for now. I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. No shit, huh? I built her as a company project with help from our friends at the Rising Stones and named her for luck and prosperity. Bonanza? Totaro, this is amazing. We'll be able to fly just about anywhere we want. Yeah, but I teleport wherever I want. Our garments were impressive enough, but to build an airship, an entire airship, I see the annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the Scion's fabled coinkeeper. I'd also introduce myself as your pilot, except the training didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. But that's alright, because we've hired this capable fellow here instead. And you are? No name, huh? The Bonanza is equipped with a full complement of mana cutters, by the way. Feel free to use them to get around Azisla. But enough talk. It's time to fly. All aboard! Alright. Our own personal airship. Now that ain't half bad. Who needs Sid? I do. Achievements in current area. Let's take a look. Oh. Just mapping Azizla. Honestly, Sid would be... I literally just mentioned the guy. Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Totaro has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Azizla, and Alphino's report did not do the scale of this place justice. It's quite large. I remember coming here. This was so long. Wasn't this Heaven's Word? I'm fairly certain. This appears to be Helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and... Yes, I believe I have my bearings. Though this is my first time on Azizla, I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Unless I am mistaken, this path leads to an aetheryte, beyond which there will be an information terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure this was Heaven's Word. My god, that seems like ages ago. I mean, it was. It absolutely was ages ago. Oh, look, I can fly. Go on, Mr. Powers. Fly, fly. Repeatable... Huh. And here is the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to tempering. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption, an overview. That sounds promising. Indeed. Let us see what this report has to say. Confound it. The contents appear to have been deleted. What? No! Isn't there something you can do? Not from here, I'm afraid, but it may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. The question is where to look. It says here the report was written by someone named Owen. Is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say it is a distinct possibility. Assuming he was a researcher here, he will have had quarters on the Havosphere. We can ascertain the details at Havosphere Control. Let us return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the mana cutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot, you already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship, then. We'll see you at the Havosphere. In what manner is she talking about? The fact that I have a mount, or that I can teleport? Because I'm magic. Yeah, wow, it's been so long since I've been here. Holy crap, dude. No, that was in the first. We were able to actually take his soul and memories back with us to the source. He originally belonged in the source with us. He's from our world, but in A Realm Reborn, he entered the Crystal Tower to go back in the past to do some shit. He died, unfortunately. Luckily, he survived. Yeah, it's very luckily he survived his death. It's quite the strange way to put it, but it's accurate. It's old, but it checks out. If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this node will be able to tell us its number. What, the node is going to talk to us? There. From what I recall of the layout, it should be somewhere in the vicinity of... Warning. An evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the Habisphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the Fourth Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Bzz. Energy level critical. Returning to base for recharging. Well, there he goes. Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access. Force, for example? Oh, good lord. She is fiery. Ere we resort to that, I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart, releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that they are known to form at points of stagnant aether throughout the continent. You seem to recall. Are you honestly telling me that was in the records too? Ha! I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning aspected aether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with equipment. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much Allegan knowledge. Besides, my studies helped me to feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you, 'tis more exhilarating than I can well express. Now then, the lightning shard. If I may, I suggest we split up and search the beta quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites. They are wont to manifest where the aether is stagnant. Oh, please. Now you're just showing off, which makes me think we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with a shard wins. What do you say? Great, another contest. Very well. It would be my honor to come third. What is it with her and her contests? The hell was that noise? Can I fail this one too, Huff? Or is this kind of just like one of those things where she says it's a contest, but not really? It's literally right next to a freaking public event. Oh no! These guys are literally like, I probably could just do this. Well, yeah, I could just do this. They're not going to hurt me. Also, let me know if the game is too loud. I did turn it up, so... Obviously, I had it down at 50% for a reason. I might actually turn it back down to 50, though, just to make sure. You know, oh, they're level 80. I see the 59 corpse flower, and I'm like thinking, oh, this will be easy. These guys are only level 50. No, that's only level 50. They're fine? Okay. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. I appear to have fortified our little race, or forfeited. Congratulations, the lightning shard is yours. What? Oh. What? Oh wait, here we go. This is me. Sorry. What? No dramatic entrance? You've changed. Ah, you remember that? In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. It isn't every day you meet an honest-to-God's hero, after all. What the hell's he talking about? Well, the contest continues, so you had better hurry back. But one last thing. Thank you, Valtimont, for bringing me here. Okay. Odd. The hell was that all about? Man, what a spectacle! Can't believe I pronounced that like an idiot. Spectable. It's respectable! Oh, he just wanted... Oh, I see. It appears Alize had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now, then, may I have the shard? Why, yes, here you go. I put it in your face. What is that? What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? Quest markers. That is a question I, too, have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we could both learn a great deal from Valtimont, and not only about the secrets of adventuring. But come, we should attend to our mission. Okay. Excellent. The system responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Havosphere. Only one obstacle remains, the security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. Not me. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I am right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. Well, nobody wants to be molested. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes, but if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sign of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. Well, nothing for it but to sit tight. Boom, ba, boom, boom. We're just chilling here. Where's our coffee? I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption and overview sounds like a stadium thesis. Or studium thesis. We all had to write one. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of Aether. I'm nothing if not practical. Alphino's was more philosophical, of course. Political, dare I say it. He chose to write a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world. A controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted that Charlane's knowledge should rightly be used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the Forum, our father was not happy. At the time, of course, Alphino was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently. By which I mean the rows were long. To be fair to him, though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded, but deep down he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. You can't tell if I'm just squinting or if I'm smiling. I should have liked to meet the young Alphino. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the Allegan civilization as depicted in folklore. He's obsessed with the Allegans. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the students of Baldessian convinced me to write one with the promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Oh, alright. Well, see, I've always been curious about who the Alligans were. Were they a race of Mithra, or something else? I always thought they were kind of like, I don't know, creatures, not humanoids. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. I shudder to imagine the work involved. But enough about that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes, Owen's archive node. It was waiting for me in his chamber. They were just asshole people. Oh, well. Now they're not here, so. Who's the asshole now? If a copy of his report still survives, it would be stored in this device. Shall we find out? Ah, okay. So Emmett Selk had a hand in their evolution. Beep. Initializing. Scanning for unregistered users. User not found. To proceed as a guest, please complete biometric authentication. Oh, lovely. Another hurdle. Verifying. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I am at your most humble service, Your Highness. Your Highness. Interesting. It never ceases to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. Doja and Une said as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Searching. One item found. Iconic corruption. An overview. The report is locked by the author. Please state password. Oh god, it's password protected as well as biometric? Well, go on then, Your Highness. Tell the nice node the password. Very funny, Allie. She's snarky, man. She's a snarky girl. Right. Let's see. Glory to be a log. Or be to a log. To be or not to be a log. That's not it. Long live Emperor Zande. I mean, I don't know if passwords would be that long, but then again, who knows? Password incorrect. Please try again. Confound it. Come now. Passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance. She gets it in the first try, doesn't she? Always dramatic. Ha-ha! Password. I knew it! I knew she was going to say password. I knew it. The notion that the password could be something so inane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handmaiden. Oh! What did that thing just call me? Actually, I remember Wild Rose being something. I can't remember what it was for, but Wild Rose. Password incorrect. Again, be warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. Now, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we risk losing the report altogether. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Machina into cooperating, it is them. Maybe I should have tried courage? Come, let us bear the node back to the Rising Stones. I don't know, I remember Wild Rose being a phrase that I had to utter at one point. Ba, 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 ba. Oh my god, it's just constant cutscenes. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Cid since waking up. Rambros did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext, however much I might look forward to seeing him again. Him and everyone. But come, let us be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, it wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? Yo, she got a thing for the prince, bro? Alright. Back on the mount, then. Actually, I don't know. That would be stupid. Where am I going here? Wonderful news, Valtamont. Tataru contacted Cid on our behalf, and he is on his way here even as we speak. While we wait, I should very much like to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Krile? As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Succession rages on and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the province have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the, what the hell? Illard? A legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. Of course there's a House Brutus. Tu Brute? Brutus. Aren't they the ones who took in Yotsuyu and Asai? This bodes well. Xenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict. And so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Gimlet, they have decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of the decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Lominsons, in particular, struggle in their efforts, and Alphino and Ishtola have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the Tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Dawn's Respite? I'll show Cid in as soon as he arrives. We're up to like 4 potential problems addressed in 50 minutes, by the way. It would seem as though it's piling up, yes. Betcha another cutscene's gonna play in a second. You guys are barely gonna see my face. Aww. Waiting, 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 waiting. Cid! Nobody ever hugs. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we've had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been had you not fulfilled your promise. Ha! I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable. That word really brings me to be stupid. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something. What was it? Yeah, I accidentally hit that, by the way. I didn't mean to skip that. Unfathomable. I can say it, I just have to take a second to say it. Well, a treatment for tempering. And for the next step, you need to find the password to this Allegan's report. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly, and thus we turn to you. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that it might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rambrose. It contains an Allegan dictionary. I hand you nothing. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. I'm so bad at reading. Sometimes my eyes jump ahead and then my brain follows, and it's really annoying. It's like they just finished cooking something in the freaking toaster oven. Ah, looks like it finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Ha! Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, milady. They're flirting now, aren't they? Node. Open the report entitled Iconic Corruption and Overview. Password Freedom. Accepted. Or password accepted. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the aether of the soul. Said aether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when a subject is exposed to the aether of an icon, this changes their soul, taking on the properties of the entity in question. By way of an example, exposure to the aether of the fiend, Sephiroth, would cause a subject's aether to become aligned with the element of earth. Sephiroth? Was Sephiroth kind of named after that summon? As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with earth-aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. I've never heard of that word before in my life. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. This stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. In this manner, do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects, an endeavor in which we were successful, albeit at great cost. They said it after albeit. I don't think that's correct. Because then you'd be saying albeit it, which doesn't make sense. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption, and in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Or Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. So not even the Alligans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. The Empire. More importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True. Yet were we simply to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. If we could only make them remember who they were. But of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation, that is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. I feel like there should have been a "the" in between there, but that's just me. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I can't read. I see, the theory seems sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident that you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. Or culminated. They did, you are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I can see that the further clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics. Which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. But it'll take more calculating power. A lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind the password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait, A password that could be guessed with by anyone with leisure, and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from the person minded to look. From a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology or some such. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief. Oh, Biggs and Wedge. Things are about to get very busy. Lucky we have you to help, eh? Me? I help no one. Are we going to get another cutscene? Right. While Grahatia and I configure the terminals, I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. Okay. In that case, I'll trust Valtamont and Alize with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. That was a hell of a throw. Take them to the Skysteel Manufactory in Ishgard and the ceruleum processing plant in Thanelin. The people there will give you what you need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanelin. Sure. Why not? I was like, she's gone already. Why is she still... Why are there still noises? Oops. I can't... Man, we haven't been here in ages either. They really tried real hard to make sure that we reuse some areas. Man, it's kind of loud in here, isn't it? Can you hear me? You stand in the Skysteel Manufactory. What is it you require? So you are after ceruleum. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Oh, a waste of time. Why can't they just have it here? No, that's not going to work. I have to actually go this way. Look at Midgard Zomer. He's just kind of chilling there. Look at that little guy. Yeah! I keep forgetting to bring out like one of the minions. I actually had a couple here. Wow, I got a new card too. Nice. I haven't played that game in a while. All right, let's see. Who shall we bring in? Wind up Porum? Palum. Bart's, I remember. Oh wait, Midgard Zomer is the minion. Never mind. See, now why couldn't I just use the Ethernet to... Oh, that's why, because it's like I need to go down further. I mean, there we go. Ceruleum, you've come to the right man. Fair warning, though, the price has shot up on account of the uncertainty with the Empire, so I hope you've got the coin. Please. Don't insult me. Well now, a promissory note from the Ironworks. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem. It's as good as gold to me. Well, we have gil, sir, not gold. Blah, 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 blah. Eh, look who it is.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places. As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course. Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day? A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed. Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it.
He seems really enthusiastic.
In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it. Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
It's been a while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering. But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
Ask Jessie. She was the one who hired you. All I know is you're an employee of the Ironworks now, so you'll bloody well earn your keep.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel, not only across dimensions, but through time. Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin. All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while. It's overloading.
Chief! She won't last much longer!
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close! So very close!
Oh!
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There! No. I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Yeah, Emmerich was very enthusiastic. He's like, "You never cease to amaze me. You're so amazing." Calm down, dude. We're friends, remember? You help me, I help you. Tit for tat. Quid pro quo. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that went swimmingly. They lost all of their Magitech machines in the process. At long last, we have a cure. We have our cure. In theory, at any rate, we cannot be certain until such time as we put it to the proof. But I am quietly confident. Well, if we're to test it on someone, then I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. As long as you exercise due caution. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine. Without further ado, then, let's make for Limsa. We've kept Gabu waiting long enough. Yes, let's. What is this one? This one is. Wow, this is. We're already on the 4th quest in this patch. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, we have to go upper decks. Imagine if your super cool friend was like, "Yeah, I'm about to cure to I'm about to cure to people turning into demon problem or demons." Sorry, the heart is. I don't understand why this thing is here. Yeah, I mean, you know, still though, like, I get the enthusiasm, if not a little bit over the top. What the hell's going on here? Is there something going on in the game that I didn't know about? Huff, what the hell's going on? What's the celebration? Is it Easter? No. They haven't done Easter before, have they? Well. It does actually. There was a banner on the login screen, so maybe that's what it is. It's their version of Easter in the game. Though that's actually like. That's more religious than most holidays. Like Christmas is more commercialized these days, so it makes sense that Christmas is a part of, you know, these games. But like Easter, that's a bit more specific. Well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our hosts bring Gabu to us at once. I don't remember Gabu. Also, how long has it been since we've seen Nero? And he's still a douche. Oh yeah, it's one of these little goblins.
Apologies for the wait.
Gabu, have you been good?
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
Fancy meeting you here.
Alphino Yushtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment? Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Well, I, for one, would be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Excellent. With your permission, then, let us begin. Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn. Tis done.
No small amount indeed.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allegans did not. It was never like to be easy. The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one. I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
I just had a thought while watching that. How much I love these games. Just, I don't know, it just reminded me of like going through and playing like Final Fantasy X and for the first time, especially 10 for the first time, just because it was the first Final Fantasy ever to be voiced, which was just like unbelievable back in those days. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, so I'll be right back and I'll probably just get some more water. See you guys in a few. Okay, alrighty, ready. My other thought, about, remember when I said like where are all the relationships? Because Final Fantasy's always been about relationships. You know, you got Cloud and Tifa, you've got Titus and Yuna. You got like all these different relationships. Where are the relationships happening in this game? And I think they did that on purpose to not have relationships bloom even out of NPCs. Maybe not with the main character, but also not with the NPCs. Probably because they wanted relationships to be more focused between players. You know, romantic or otherwise. I mean, we've heard all the stories of so many people meeting in MMOs like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy. Maybe that's why they don't have any romantic relationships between characters, but it still would have been good. It would have added some spice. Well, this seems as good a spot as any to have a rest. Ooh, food.
For years, Eorzea has labored to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light-corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even. But Alize refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation. However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion.
Don't tell me, tell her.
I should, I know. Yet, despite my good intent, I have the feeling that I would only succeed in incurring her ire. Alize, are you all right?
The treatment. Did it work?
Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
Gaboo!
All this time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan. But I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart. Constantly, ever, always. So I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
Your hopes reached Gaboo. They helped him to hold on.
I'm so proud of you, Gaboo.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Yes, we can. All of them.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use. As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether. And while Alize was able to heal Gaboo alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence. All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gaboo, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then, the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic. annoying. And her name is Master Matoya. The real one.
I have to go now, Gabu. But the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
Man, did not expect that voice to come out of that thing. Like, those things you expect maybe to be, I don't know, like little grunty. You know, like... That's not at all what it was. All right, let's just sort. I was looking at this and I'm like, it looks like a mess. Let's sort this. There we go. Okay. What we got a little bit of time left. Like master, like pupil. I did notice earlier that Grahatia still called Ishtola Master Matoya, even though I'm pretty sure he knew her real name, so I'm not sure what that was all about. And then didn't even scoff or, you know, react to the fact that she said the real Master Matoya. He just said, yeah, okay. As she will be at pains to remind me, I have not paid Master Matoya a visit since returning from the first, but this seems as good a time as any. Come, let us make for her cave. Ah, yes. You guys get to walk. I get to teleport. Damn, I have to go all the way from Idleshire. It's the name he met her as. Yeah, but wouldn't he be, like, a little thrown back by the fact that she said the real Master Matoya instead of, like, my name's not actually, you know, Master Matoya? Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's right. We gotta get out there first. I mean, wouldn't that just basically state the fact that he knew that she wasn't Master Matoya? Well. I can't wait for the visual changes they're going to be bringing to this game. Like, it's not going to be super drastic, but there's, you know, texture upgrades and some lighting upgrades and stuff like that. I think some character model upgrades as well, if I'm not mistaken. Man, I remember going around this place. She took the name was to fit in with the locals' requirement to use a fake name in the light of the sun. Oh, I see. I just thought she was just trying to make sure that nobody knew her real identity back in the first. I take it you're ready to bear witness to the joyous reunion of master and pupil? Very well. Yes, I'd like to see her hit you in the head with a broomstick.
Nary a word from you all this time, then you bring every man and his pirogo with you. Did no one teach you any manners, girl?
They were too busy teaching me etherology, Master. Jesting aside, I wanted to be the one to express our gratitude. I am told you spared no effort to sustain our bodies while we were away. And for that, we owe you our lives. Thank you.
You were gone so long. I was starting to think you'd set your heart on staying.
It wasn't easy to leave, as it happens. Seldom does one have the opportunity to study other worlds, and I would not have minded extending my stay by a handful of years.
Ever the scholar. Y'shtola dedicated herself to studying ancient civilizations of the First, befriending a tribe known as the Knights Blessed in the process. There she took on the name of Matoya and won the respect of all the children of the forest.
I merely adopted an alias in accordance with the custom of my hosts. Yours just happened to be the first name that came to mind.
You mean to tell me you went gallivanting about using my name and only bother to visit when you need a favor? And don't pretend you don't. I taught you long enough.
Indeed. And devoted pupil that I am, I could not fail to recall my master's sage advice. When the answer eludes you, look to the wisdom of your elders.
You there. Were you going to introduce yourself?
How remiss of me. Grahatia is my name, and I am proud to call myself a scion. I too wish to offer my gratitude for your invaluable aid in sustaining the Archon's bodies, as well as my apologies. It was my inexpert summoning spell which endangered their lives in the first place.
Ah, yes. The one bent on digging up the mysteries of Alag. Old Galaf used to speak of you, and Kryles told me all about your recent exploits. Do you have a bad back or something? At ease, boy. Whatever mess you've made, I'm not in the habit of dwelling on the failings of the younger generation.
You are too kind. I've also heard much and more about you, Master Matoya. 'Tis an honor to finally make your acquaintance.
Well, that's more than enough pleasantries for anyone. Tell me what you want. I haven't got all day. So that's the way of it. It should be a simple enough matter to make the familiar. The magic, on the other hand.
Ah, that you may leave to me. Being the only one possessed of royal blood, I alone can imbue the subject with the necessary magic.
So I just need to create porxes with the power to stir the soul. Just, I say. Though we're talking about a veritable herd of the little buggers, we'd collapse before we reached double figures. But if I could get a familiar to create the familiars, a mother porxie, as it were. Seems I haven't seen the last of that moldy old hole after all.
Oh, Alphino ran his mouth and almost got her hit over the head. No, not Alize. Jeez, stop. Stop. Alright, off to my old workshop then. Everything required to make your familiar is there. That may be, but no one has set foot in there since the Exodus. I dread to imagine what has become of it. Oh, there's sure to be a handful of feral familiars and mayhap a monster or two, but nothing to trouble the likes of you. You can consider cleaning up the place payment for my help. Fine, we'll do it. Good girl. Now, if there are no other objections, I suggest you run along to the Maker's Quarter. I'll send one of my pirogos ahead to let you into the workshop. You need only tell him who you are. One can't be too careful after all. Off you go. All the way over there, huh? Oops. We'll fly over there and then we'll call it a night. I hope that's all right with everyone. Come on, go. Go. Damn. Oh. How dare you? Or like, you know, what's her face? How dare you? How dare you? Greta Thunberg. Ooh, a bee. Tarantula hawk. Wow, that's it's worse than a regular tarantula. Holy crap, dude. The gang's all here. Alright. I'm gonna call it an evening. Well, we got pretty far, actually. We got a lot more done than I thought. This is, of course, gonna lead into a dungeon. Which, actually, we should probably just... We're not going to be going in. We're just going to be getting it. Unlocking it, I should say. Ooh, I almost missed that one. Greetings, Rivet, and welcome to my good mistress's relict. Poro Rogo is my name, and I am honored to be your guide. Within, you will find a space dedicated to the making of familiars, along with a cavern wherein the requisite ingredients may be had. I must warn you, however, that the place has not played host to a single soul, much less a broom, in over 15 years, and will, I regret, be in some disarray. But rest assured, my brothers and I shall see to it you do not lose your way. Now then, Rivet, only say the word, and I will show you in. It's a nice building. Alright, now we're good. Now we can kind of just finish it up here. Very interesting. Yeah, honestly, I don't remember anything about the tempering and stuff like that. I do remember Gabu, excuse me. That was kind of a blast from the past, if you will. I don't know how long it's been since we've seen Gabu and Nero, it's definitely been a while. As I said, he's still a magnificent douche, but, you know, what are you gonna do? This is very interesting. Like you said, we're actually kind of collecting one problem after another and just solving them all at once, apparently. But that's what we do as the Chosen One, don't we? But that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time and attention, as always. And I would like to invite you guys to join me on Sunday. Sunday is veritably St. Paddy's Day. And I am going to do another attempt at sourdough, or Irish soda bread. This time I'm going to do it with regular flour, though. So we're going to do it right this time. And I hope to see you guys there. I'm going to try and start that at noon. Because, you know, while I'm not really drinking beer that much these days, I don't see any reason I shouldn't get a small pack of Guinness. As I don't think it'll actually really affect me as much as other beers have been lately. So we're definitely going to be drinking, baking, and cooking. Because I don't see myself having St. Paddy's Day without corned beef and cabbage. Gotta have it to go along with my soda bread. So that means I'm going to have to get a skillet too. I always wanted to get one anyway. So let's make us some food, shall we? So join me on Sunday, possibly at noon. We're going to shoot for that, for some great St. Paddy's Day awesomeness. And as far as the music goes, I probably won't be able to play much of it. I'll have to figure that out, but we'll see. But until then, I'm Adam Wolf. This is Final Fantasy XIV. And I'll see you guys on Sunday.